Well, hello, 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 and happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. We're here in Miss G's Ladies Lounge. Welcome to all of our viewers, both those who are new. If it's your first time, let us know in the chat. We're so glad to have you here. Maybe you are here back again from before you've been here, and you just want to let us know that you're hanging out here with us tonight. We are so excited to have you here with us. Listen, this is Miss G's Ladies Lounge. We are your relaxation station. We're excited to be here and excited about everything that we have to share with you on tonight. So, for tonight, I just have a simple question, my visionaries. I have a simple question, and I need to ask you, are you accelerating or are you procrastinating? Because one moves your vision forward and the other one steals your momentum secretly. And in my newest episode of Manifestation Moments here tonight, we're breaking down why procrastination shows up, how fear likes to disguise itself as if you're saying, I'm not ready yet, or how you can talk yourself and shift into simple, powerful steps that activate momentum. So if you're tired of failing, if you're tired of feeling stuck, or you're tired of waiting for the perfect moment, this show is just for you. Tap in, tune in, and let's accelerate your purpose together. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. We're here in Miss G's Ladies Lounge. We're here for our manifestation moments. These are our moments where we are able to bring information to you. We're able to help you even to move from being stuck to manifestation. We're here to encourage you to do whatever it takes so that you can manifest your visions and your dreams. It's your weekly space for clarity, for elevation, and visionary momentum. Again, I'm your host, Miss G, and today we're talking about a powerful truth: acceleration versus procrastination. Now, as I said earlier, one pushes you into purpose, and the other one delays your destiny. But if you're ready to shift that mindset and break free from hesitation and move your vision forward with confidence, then this episode is just what you need to hear. I'm Gwen Finley. I am an elder, a visionary startup coach, speaker, and an author. And I am the founder of 4G Ministries, RVA, and the CEO of VIP Coaching and Consulting, where I help visionaries and emerging leaders just like you turn their ideas into impactful, purpose driven realities. And as the visionary author of our newly released book, Visionary Momentum Unleashed, the anthology, my passion is empowering women to rise, to lead, and to walk confidently in their calling. So now you're tuned in here to Miss G's Ladies Lounge. You're in a safe space for inspiration, empowerment, and faith filled conversations. Welcome to the show. We're going to dive in just a minute. Let's see who we've got in the lounge. Thank you so much for joining us on tonight. My dear cousin Cookie, all the way from New York. We hung out a little bit this weekend. What an amazing weekend with a group of powerful, powerful women who were here to share in the Platform Builders Summit. the Platform Builder Summit, and we had an amazing time with so many powerful women from across the country. People came miles, thousands of miles away with Charvette Mitchell, the host, and so I am just still exuberated uh, and excited about what we have experienced on this weekend. So tonight we're going to share just a few more of our nuggets that we have experienced, and so many things that we have heard over the years and over time. But in my new book, as I just talked about it, Visionary Momentum Unleashed. Um, Visionary Momentum Unleashed. If you haven't gotten your copy, make sure that you get your copy. It is an anthology, and I have 8 additional authors where I was the visionary author. But in this book, I wrote a chapter, and my chapter referenced acceleration. And so I wanted to share with you on tonight that acceleration. I went back and I had to read the chapter all over again myself, because sometimes we have things in our spirit and things in our hearts, but we don't take them into our own minds and work through them, even though we're the ones that may have talked about it. But I said to myself, I want to read about this acceleration one more time. And then I began to think about procrastination. And so I decided I wanted to talk tonight about acceleration versus procrastination. Now, let me define those two different. They're actually forces, and they pull against each other, pull away from each other. So let me define those two. Acceleration, moving intentionally towards a goal with clarity, consistency, and purpose. It doesn't mean rushing, it means progressing. All right. Now, on the other hand, procrastination. Procrastination is delaying action due to fear, overwhelm, perfectionism, or uncertainty. And it creates the illusion of safety, but actually slows destiny. Now, I see a couple of you joining me. Thank you so much for joining. You go ahead and put something in the chat, but here's what I would love for you to do. If you know that this subject resonates with you, just go ahead and type in the chat, this is for me. This is for me. And I would be typing right away if I was on the other side. This is for me. I have been one who has procrastinated for over so many different situations and circumstances, procrastination, where we're going to talk about a little bit later, where you don't even realize that you're actually procrastinating because you think you're doing something when you're not. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Acceleration is when vision takes the driver's seat. Hmm. But procrastination is when fear grabs the keys. I love that statement. Let me repeat that. I hear you, Cookie. This is for me. Acceleration is when vision takes the driver's seat, but procrastination is when it grabs the keys. The fear grabs the keys. And so you're not even able to turn the car on. You're not even able to get the car started. Now you've gotten in the driver's seat, but fear has grabbed the keys and you can't even go anywhere because you're so busy working with fear. Oh, hey, Carmina, so good to see you, my friend. So yeah, so acceleration is faith in motion, while procrastination is fear in disguise. And it will disguise itself and make you feel like you're doing so much and that you're so busy. And so here's what what happens when we procrastinate, or why we procrastinate. We become overwhelmed. And the first thing was the fear, right? So the fear begins to overwhelm us. And we begin to say, oh, this is just, a lot, so I'll come back to it, right? Have you ever said, I'll come back to it, knowing good and well that you're putting that over on the wrong table because you're not coming back to it right now? Or maybe even perfectionism. You say to yourself, well, I've got to wait until everything is just right. I've got to wait until I have all my ducks in a row. I've got to wait until I have every I dotted and every T crossed. And that's another sense of procrastination, because instead of moving forward and having that action of acceleration, now you're at a standstill because you're waiting and you want things to be perfect. And they're not always going to be perfect just because you want them to be, right? So then there's the fear. Thank you so much, Carmina. Let me pop y'all on up here so they see I'm not just talking. I'm y'all really chatting over here. Thank you so much. Um, so the fear also can bring you into a place of, you have that fear of visibility. Some people are afraid to be seen. You ever hear people talk about there's people that are afraid of success? They're afraid that if they do A, B, and C, they're going to succeed. So they'll do A and B, but we're not going to finish it out because we scared somebody might see us, and then we become afraid of their critiquing us. So that's most of the time why people don't want the visibility. It's not because, and that puts it right back to the perfection. It's not because they don't want to be seen, but they're afraid if somebody sees them, they're going to now critique them, and if things are not perfect, then they're going to feel like they didn't do anything at all, right? Fear of success or failing publicly. And that's what I just said. We have oftentimes people have a fear of success and failing publicly. And that is one of the most stifling things for many people, because if you are that perfectionist, if you are that person that you like to see things played out, with 100% excellency, we all want to see things done well. But sometimes there may be a little snag in your plan. Sometimes you may have to reroute. There's so many different things. So you cannot just stop doing because everything is not perfect. You have to keep going. Then you may have that excuse that you need more time. That's another cover up. I need more time. I don't have enough time. There's not enough time in the day. Well, listen, what are you doing with the time that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing? You're just wasting time, right? So you might as well just do whatever you can with the little bit of time that you have. So are you feeling this? Are you feeling this? Is this really resonating with you? All right. So now we know, that there's that fear, there's that anxiety, there's that perfectionism. So we have that internal battle, right? Fear versus faith for all those Christians and faith believers, or even just people in general, because faith is really a belief. So a lot of times our procrastination is a symptom. It's not the problem, it's just a symptom, right? There's a bigger problem that has to be addressed. And the bigger problem, especially when we're talking about fear versus faith, the bigger problem is, where's your faith? Why aren't you putting your faith into action? Why aren't you moving toward what you have said that God has put in your heart? You said He gave you the vision. You said He knows the plans He has for me. So why do you have fear, right? Why do we have fear? And I say you, but I mean we, because that has been one of my issues for many, many years as well. I'm getting a little better at it. So I'm really moving beyond fear. I am moving in faith because I really believe and I really trust God. I believe that He's going to do what He promised He would do. So, acceleration requires faith. It requires belief in the outcome, even when the full blueprint isn't available. So, even though you may not see, and this is where that scripture in Jeremiah 29:11 really makes good sense. He said, I know the thoughts and the plans that I have towards you. He knows. You may not know everything, but He knows. And so your faith has to be full. And even when the blueprint isn't visible, you have to walk by faith with many of the steps in order to become victorious. That is the way that we live. That is the way that we walk, knowing that God's plan is bigger than our plan. We are working through a Bible plan right now, goals and letting God set our goals and being the author of our goals and following His plan in order to meet the goals, right? So again, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of exposure, all of that hides underneath. And we have to let that move outside. We have to let that move to the side. We've got work to do. We don't have time to have fear and let that take over us, right? All right. All right. So, acceleration is faith in motion, procrastination is fear in disguise. Acceleration is movement with intention. So, even when you are driving and you put your foot on the accelerator, you have a level of pressure that you have to put in order to move forward, right? But when you know you need to slow down, you've got to have a certain uh, ability to pull back on that acceleration. It's movement with intention, knowing what you need to do and what you intend to do. Which way do you intend to go fast? Do you intend to go slow? You have to move with that intention. You have to make sure that your acceleration is at the point that it needs to be. Okay? So now let's go back to procrastination on the other hand. There is a cost for procrastination. Procrastination will give you lost time, and lost time equals lost momentum. The longer you wait, the more momentum you will lose, right? So our recent release, Visionary Momentum Unleashed. Now, many of our authors were, we had a date set, and we wanted to make sure that we put that book out on that specific date because we wanted that momentum. We built it up, and we got to a point where there was a day and a time that we were all going to do it at the same time. We wanted that momentum. And some of our some of our authors didn't put it out the same time the rest of us did. And they may have lost some momentum. Yes, yes, yes. But we were able to get the book out there, but they may have lost some momentum because they were not in the plan that we were in with that momentum. Lost time equals lost momentum. You've got to make sure that your timing is right. You got to make sure that you don't waste time, that you don't waste the moments that could bring you that acceleration. All right. So now we've talked about acceleration, we've talked about procrastination, we've talked about the lost time, the lost momentum. We also, opportunities expire. People are not going to wait for you forever. Have you ever tried to sell someone something and you said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to sell this to you. I'll bring it tomorrow, and you can pay me." And then tomorrow comes, and you don't bring the item with you, they're not giving you their money because you didn't bring the item. Now you've lost that opportunity to make that sale, to close that gap, to fulfill that promise, right? Your opportunity has expired. You may never see that person again. You may never see that person. If you say to the person, I would like to get with you to do A, B, and C, but this is your moment. This is your momentum. You're with them now. Why wait until later when you don't know if you'll even see them again? So take the opportunities as they come. So when you have a proposal in front of you, don't sit around and put the proposal over on the side and try to decide, well, I'll look at some other proposals first and see. Yes, if it's not the proposal for you, yes, you have to make a wise decision. But if you know that this is what you want, fill that bad boy out and send it on back, right? Opportunities expire. People are not going to wait for you forever, and neither is your success. All right? Your confidence decreases every time you delay. Ooh, your confidence decreases every time you delay. So when you had the gumption, as they say, and the get up all to go and do it, why did you sit back down? Why did you change your mind? Do it while you're thinking about it. Do it while you're excited about it. Do it while you have that momentum. Your audience, your clients, and your assignment suffers when you hesitate. Oh man, this is really good to me. I don't know if it's good to you, but it's good to me. But everybody suffer when you hesitate. If I were now in the medical field, and I've got Carmina on here, she's in the medical field. If I were to say to my patient, well, I'll just hold your medication until tomorrow, and the patient is in pain right now, that effect is not going to help him tomorrow. He needs that medication today, or if he's having a seizure, or if he's dealing with some other situation. You cannot withhold what you have. That hesitation causes that person to suffer. It is the same process, even in business, in ministry. If you're saying, someone says, I need prayer, all right, come to the prayer service next week. Sis, I need you to go ahead and pray now. Right? We don't miss opportunities. We take the opportunities as they are because they are presented to us. We take the opportunities when we know that they align with God's purpose for our lives. Now, I'm talking about things in alignment because some things are not in alignment, and we have to have that discernment. We have to have that wisdom and know when we do have to pull back, because there are those times when you do have to pull back. All right, so yeah, this is all bringing us to a great point. So the acceleration is movement with intention, but that cost of procrastination can be, ooh, it can be a doozy. It can be very costly. It can cost us the loss of systems, the loss of opportunities, the loss of success. It can cost us a loss of so many things. So there is that cost of the delay. Procrastination is momentum's silent thief. It kills your momentum, and so the momentum decreases, the confidence shrinks, the opportunities expire, and your assignment is delayed. Remember, someone waiting on your gift will go without when you don't give what is needed at the moment. All right. So, what acceleration looks like? It looks like small, consistent steps sometimes. Sometimes it's making great strides. It's clarity through action, And it can even be one micro win at a time. It's not always about a big streamers coming down from the ceiling, and balloons going up, and uh, it's not always about that. Sometimes it's just a micro win. But every little micro win on top of the next micro win, on top of the next micro win, on top of the next micro win, it builds that momentum. It causes you to have a productivity. All right. So you have to identify your shift, and you become the finisher. You become that finisher. Make sure that you're able to finish what you started. Let me ask you this. What's one thing that you know that you need to move on? Is there something that you've been procrastinating and you know you need to move on it now? I've been working on something for, I've been working on a guide for, oh my God, probably 2 years now. And I looked at it yesterday and a few days prior as well. But I've been looking at it and I said to myself, this is the week that I am going to put myself back into the way of completing this project, because there's no reason that it's not finished. It's none except procrastination, right? So, whatever it is that you know that you've been holding on to and not fulfilling, you need to start moving on that today. What is the one thing that you know you need to move on? Come on, somebody. What is that you know you need to move on? All right. So, as we said, so acceleration looks like taking those small, consistent steps, implementing even without perfection. Everything is not going to be perfect. Everything is not always going to line up the way we think it should line up, but that does not mean that it is not in motion and going forward. All right. Just think about an obstacle course. When you have that obstacle course, sometimes it's not going to be that you're able to walk straight through it, but you may have to go to the left a little, to the right a little, back to the left, back to the right. It's just, but in order to get to the end, you've got to follow that path. You got to go through that maze, right? It's allowing progress to refine the plan. You have to allow that progress to refine the plan. If there's no progress, you won't even know what stage of the plan you should be at if you're still at the beginning. You won't even know the various stages of the plan if you're still just sitting at the door, waiting for the door, and the door is already open, telling you to come on in. But you're sitting here, you have no idea what's beyond that door. You have no idea what's in the next room until you go through the door that has been opened for you. Following that nudge and not waiting for the entire staircase. Now, that's a kind of a scary analogy, because I don't like stairs. I take them, but I always have this kind of fear of falling downstairs. And thank God I've never, and I believe by God's grace I will never fall down the stairs. I think I fell down when I was a young girl. I think I remember that I fell down and did something to my collarbone. And so I always have this fear of falling down the staircase. But you may not always see the bottom of the staircase. When you're going from the 16th floor to the first floor, when you come down those first set of stairs on the 16th floor, you're not going to see the bottom. It's not going to be there for you to see it. But you still know, in order to get to the bottom or to get to the top, you got to start moving. That's that acceleration. You got to start taking the steps and moving forward, right? So following the nudge, not waiting to see the entire staircase. All right, so acceleration is movement. We already said that. And even if the movement is small, here's what procrastination sounds like. I'll start it tomorrow. Now, some of y'all gonna get right off this live, knowing you got something you need to do, and you're gonna say, "All right, I'm tired now, so I'll do it tomorrow. I need more time. I'm not ready yet. I need everything to be perfect." We are not going to do that anymore, right, y'all? Right? Yeah, that's right. Gotta move forward. Gotta move forward. So here, I'm gonna give you this challenge. I'm gonna give you this challenge tonight. I don't care what it is that you know that you've been procrastinating on. I don't care what it is that you feel like has been waiting for you, and you have not put the pedal to the metal, right? You have not done what you needed to do to get this thing moving. Tonight, just take out, even if it's just taking out a piece of paper and writing down the steps that you will take to get motivated and get moving with whatever it is that you've been procrastinating on. If it's making a phone call, write down that at 9 a.m., I'm going to make this phone call. At 9 a.m., I'm going to send this email. Excuse me. Sometimes we have to even just write it out and give ourselves some direction. And then it helps us to move forward once we start seeing it in writing. We see it in black and white. It helps us to have a little more direction and to move forward. Don't wait for perfect, wait for purpose. Wait for purpose. Break the big goal into micro moves. Set yourself a 24-hour task. But here's what you need to do. You've got to make a decision. You have to make a decision. Will I accelerate or will I procrastinate? Your purpose is waiting for you to participate. Remember, you don't need to have everything perfect before you begin. You just need to get started. All right. So, momentum, here's a momentum truth. You don't need more time. You need a decision. Procrastinators blame the time, but accelerators maximize the time that they do have. And decision is the trigger that releases momentum. So, let's decide so that acceleration can begin. All right, so I'm done for now. I've got so much more, but I don't want to hold you any longer. So I'm done for now. We'll finish this because I do have more to share with you on this. So I want you to know that you're not behind. You're just one decision away from your acceleration. You just gotta you just gotta get moving. You just gotta get motivated and get started. Start somewhere. I always say that start somewhere. As a visionary startup coach, my thought is that most people don't even realize what they have until they actually get started with what they have. Once you get started with what you have, you'll realize that you have so much more than you even thought you had. All right. So, again, I'm going to stop right here and we're going to pick this back up. Join me back here next week because I have a little bit more to share with you. We're going to pick this back up. And what I would like for you to do, those of you that have been hanging out here and you have said to yourself, I have something that I know that I've been procrastinating. I know that I need to get accelerated. I want you to write that down. And I want you to just come back next week and just let us know how you have progressed. You don't have to tell us all of your details. Just let us know how or if you have progressed. Have you done anything that has uh, allowed you to start moving? So I thank you so much for joining me on tonight. I want to remind you all that here in MsG's Ladies Lounge, we are, purpose driven. We just love seeing people move and get those mind shifts, get that inspiration. So make sure that you connect with me. You can follow me here on Miss G's at Miss G's Ladies Lounge on Facebook. You can follow me on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Miss G VIP Coach and Consult with just the letter N. Miss G VIP Coach and Consult. I think I got some things up here somewhere. Or you can also email me if you have questions or if you would like to connect with me for some of my coaching services. I would love to chat with you. I love to be with you and have a conversation. Also, if you are ready to purchase your copy of Visionary Momentum Unleashed. I just got a new shipment in yesterday. And so this is your lucky day. You can go ahead and you can actually purchase a copy of that. I'm actually even going to pop up that QR code there, and you can snap that QR code and you can order your copy today. Listen, I mailed off a copy to California today. This book has gone already all around the U.S. I mean, we've been sending it to New York, to New Jersey, to Maryland, to Florida, to California, I mean, so many different, Indiana. We have been sending it to places that you wouldn't even imagine. And I'm so grateful for each and every person who has already purchased your copy. Make sure that you take the time and read these inspirational chapters. There's so much inside, and one of the things about this is we take you from your spiritual, your home life, your business life, your work life, your church life. You've got a little bit of everything to ponder as you read this book. So make sure, thank you so much, Carmine. I'm so glad you joined me on tonight. I miss you, girl. We got to get together one day. But we are excited about where the Lord has been taking us with the Visionary Momentum Unleashed. And if you missed our book release event, oh boy, you really missed something. But we've got something coming up for you. So just stay connected. There's more to come. There is more to come. All right. I thank you again for joining me on tonight. And I hope that you have yourself a great night. Remember, there is nothing that you can't do. Just put your mind to it and accelerate. All right. Love you. Have a great night.